the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
There is a lot of things to have hope for. So even though there are immense challenges right now and there's immense hardship, and we have seen the best in human nature and the worst in this season, there are a lot of things to celebrate.
Tonight, more than 75,000 Hoosiers now have their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. This as scientists learn more about the new strain of the virus. Good evening to you at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins. Tonight, WRTV's Nicole Griffin spoke to the director of infection prevention at IU Health about the new strain, the vaccine, and her message to Hoosiers heading into the new year.
It is tough. The days seem to be getting longer, harder. The energy reserves not as much there.
Kristen Kelly is the director of infection prevention at IU Health. She's also one of hundreds of healthcare workers stepping up, working double duty to run the vaccine clinic at IU Health's neuroscience building downtown.
I've personally seen over 5,000 people in the clinic that I helped to run get vaccinated. And the stories and the pictures of those healthcare workers that have come off of a long 12-hour shift carrying and seeing the worst of COVID, that has sat in a chair, that has breathed a sigh of relief and even wept many tears and received their vaccine overwhelmingly excited to do so.
It's painless. Easy.
Yeah. She says the vaccine provides hope despite the immense challenges and hardships COVID-19 continues to cause.
It is a preventative treatment that helps to give you immunity to COVID-19. I had a good friend of mine, a dear friend in the last 2 weeks that just passed away from COVID. And I worked with him for almost a decade. And I had wished I had had the opportunity to vaccinate him, because I do believe he would be here today.
Kelly wants Hoosiers to do their research so when it comes time for the general public to get vaccinated, they are ready to make a decision.
Roughly about 500,000 have tested positive for COVID this year. There have been over 75,000 vaccines. So we know that roughly 6.1 million Hoosiers will either get the vaccine or they will go on to get COVID. And while it sounds okay to play the odds there and say, oh, well, I don't trust this new medicine, COVID's not that bad. It is that bad. This disease not only does wreckage, if folks are lucky to survive it, it can cause months of debilitating issues like heart damage.
She says health experts are still concerned that we will see a rise in cases in the coming weeks after the holidays. She says the next few months will be difficult.
Just in the last few weeks alone, 6,400 new cases mean that 6,400 new people on top of everyone else that already had it that is eligible to spread COVID to those around them.
Kelly says her team at IU Health has made it through the very challenging month of December. And while it's tiring and hard, they have not lost their resolve to keep moving forward to take care of Hoosiers. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, WRTV.
Well, Kelly says it is normal for viruses to mutate and morph into different forms. She says the new strain is the same overall virus with different genetic components. She says there is belief the virus may have already been here in the U.S. for a couple of months. She's anxious to learn more about it as scientists do more research in the coming months. Now to the latest COVID-19 numbers from the State Department of Health. Another 6,407 Hoosiers have been diagnosed with the virus. 106 more Hoosiers have died, bringing the total number of deaths so far to 8,016. Since March, more than 517,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19, and more than 5.7 million tests have been administered in Indiana.